Hello, welcome to a new video, another manual. These videos are going crazy on my channel. That's why I thought to make another one for you guys. Today we have the Hohem iSteady Mobile Plus. This is a gimbal for smartphones. We're gonna check it out together. I'm gonna show you how it works out. I hope it helps. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you after the intro. Hello and welcome to my channel. If it's the first time, once again, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna dive into the manual of the iSteady Mobile Plus. What's happening here? When you open the box, you will find the gimbal and a tripod. What you simply wanna do, first of all, is to screw your tripod under the gimbal. Not many difficulties there. And now we're going to learn how to charge our stabilizer. In the box, it comes also a cable. This is a USB-C to USB. If we place the gimbal with the joystick facing us, on the left-hand side of the gimbal, we will have this silicone door. If you open the door, we'll find two different connections, two different USB connections. The one at the bottom is a USB-C, and the one at the top, it's a normal USB. Now, we're going to use the USB-C at the bottom to charge our gimbal from the electrical socket. We simply plug in the USB-C of our cable to this connection and the normal USB to your plug, to your socket. I'm gonna spin the gimbal and show you something. On the right-hand side of the body, you have 4 different lights, which are now off. These 4 different dots. If I'm gonna plug in an external power bank, for example, and I turn it on, have a look at the lights. They turn on in green. If the gimbal is completely out of charge, these lights will start flashing up to the 4th light at the top. When they all stop to blink, it means the gimbal is fully charged. I'm gonna turn my power bank off and the lights go off. The one at the bottom is called DC in because it brings electricity into the gimbal. The one at the top is called DC out because from this port, the energy, the electricity comes out and it goes to our recording device. So what we're gonna do is to swap the connections. We take the normal USB and we connect it to the top door, and this one will be connected to the USB-C of your mobile phone. In my case, I have a USB-C type connection because I'm using an Android phone. This is a Samsung A40. That's how we're going to test our gimbal today. We're going to understand how to charge the smartphone as we're using the gimbal a bit later in the manual. So let's carry on for now and let's unplug everything. We're going to learn now how to mount and balance our smartphone on top of the gimbal. We have 2 different options because you can mount your mobile phone in landscape mode or portrait mode. We're gonna start with the landscape. You still have your gimbal with the joystick facing yourself. Next thing you want to make sure of, you see this motor at the back? That actually needs to face the front. Now we take the second motor, which is this one here hanging at the bottom, and we lift it to the right, like so. Inside the mount, this is the actual mount where we're going to place our phone. You will have a text saying phone camera direction. So keep that in mind, and you want to have this upright. So you want to read it properly upright. You don't want to have it like this, all right? The other way to make sure you're placing the mount in the correct position is to check the back of the mount. You will see another text with the name of the gimbal, iSteady Mobile Plus. Make sure that's upright as well. We take our mobile phone and make sure the camera is facing forward, so it's not facing yourself, and also make sure that the camera on your smartphone is to the left-hand side of the smartphone now. We have a couple of brackets here on the mount that can go up and down, so open them up and slide your phone in up to the very end until you touch the motor. You just slide it, go, nice and safe. The gimbal will be completely unbalanced. As you can see, we're going to learn how to balance it correctly right now. We have two arms to balance on this gimbal. The first one we're going to balance is the tilt, which is actually this motor, this axis right there. So once again, we lift our phone up to the right. And also we want the screen, the big screen of our phone, facing up. So we tilt our smartphone up. From here, you want to find that balance where your phone is staying in an horizontal position. I'm quite lucky, my phone is already staying there, but your phone might tilt down or up to the other side. Let's do that together. We mentioned the two brackets of the mount. You want to hold the arm of the gimbal here and slide those brackets up or down. Now the weight has completely changed and it's completely out of balance. So make sure you hold your phone horizontally and find that spot where your phone stays in an horizontal position. With tiny movements, you will find it. And if you tilt your phone down now, it should stay more or less in every position you place it to. So the tilt arm has been balanced now, but if I let go, it's too bottom heavy. So we need to balance the roll axis right here at the back. For the roll axis, right there, we have a knob. Do you see this knob? So this one will allow us to move the arm left and right and balance the roll axis. So what you want to do is to unscrew this knob, tilt up your gimbal again, and now we slide this arm to the left or to the right until our mobile phone stays in position, in this position this time. So move it to the left. See, it's still too heavy on one side. Move it to the other side. Gentle. And that's it. Now, once again, try to tilt your phone up. Perfect. That's how you balance your gimbal for landscape mode. To do the portrait mode in vertical, it's exactly the same process, but we need to tilt the mount. I'm just going to take your phone out for a second. This plate rotates and you simply want to spin it. You go to the right, so your phone camera will be facing up. Just read the text again. And we do the same thing. We take our mobile phone, we slide it in, we make sure the camera is on top this time. Okay, right there. Now the balance is off because we balanced it for landscape mode, so we need to start again. Let's lift our arm out. The phone is, as you can see, is tilting back and forth. So find the position where it stays more or less simply by dragging it up and down. It doesn't have to be 100% balanced because that's the way the gimbal works. But when it stays in position, that's a good starting point. Alrighty, now, again, it's bottom heavy. This motor is too heavy, so we need to move it to the right. We want to use the knob here again. Slide in. We try to move our phone to find that spot where it's less unbalanced. Again, you can't balance this gimbal properly with a smartphone, especially in vertical mode. That's also what is said on the manual guide from the brand, from Hohem. My phone, unfortunately, is too light to counterbalance the weight of the motor. But if you have a heavier phone, you might be luckier and your phone should actually stay like this in position. That's how you balance your smartphone in vertical portrait mode. Yeah. Mine one doesn't really work, but if you have a heavier phone, it should stay like that. Luckily, the motors of the gimbal are very strong, so we will not have any problem even though the camera is not properly balanced. To turn the gimbal on and off, we have the power button here in the panel where you have your joystick and all the different buttons and settings. You can see it right there. It's a black button with a red dot. To turn the gimbal on, we press the button, we hold it for 1, 2, and 3. The gimbal goes on, it will be ready to go. You want to turn it off? Simply hold the power button again. 1, 2, and 3. You will also notice these 4 lights on your panel again turning on. If I do it 1, 2, you see they just went all the way up to the 4th light at the top. Now remember at the beginning I told you we can use the USB-C connection to charge our recording device here. Now that the gimbal is on, we can actually try. So plug in the normal USB to the gimbal, top connection, and the USB-C at the bottom of your phone to the USB-C connection. I'm gonna turn it on so I show you what's happening here. As soon as I plug this in, my mobile phone should start charging. If it doesn't, double press the power button quickly and you will see there 1, 2. There you go. Now my phone is charging through the gimbal. That's a very good feature. If your phone is running out of power, you can just use the gimbal as a power bank. Let's check out the app on the Play Store or the iStore if you're using an Apple, an iPhone. I'm going to use the Play Store because I'm using an Android phone. Simply go here in the Play Store and search for Hohem Joy. Hohem Joy. Search for it, and now I found the app. I'm going to install it. Once it's done, let's open it up. Click on Open or go and find it in your apps. And now we need to agree to the usual terms. Click on Agree and Continue at the bottom. We need to allow the app to access our photos. So click on Allow. And now you need to turn the Bluetooth and the location of your phone on. So what we're gonna do, I scroll down here in my menu, make sure I turn the Bluetooth on, and I scroll to the location as well, because it doesn't do it automatically. Right, we are in the app now, and the Bluetooth will start searching for our gimbal. Just click on Done for now. The Bluetooth has found my gimbal. You see, I can click on Connection, Bluetooth pairing request, yes, pair. Success. If your gimbal didn't appear on its own automatically, click on this orange circle at the very bottom of your screen. And once again, it will ask you, can I use your phone to do things? And just say yes while using the app. And again, record audio, yes. My phone camera is on. Click to choose photo taking, record, moments, time lapse. This is a tiny tutorial which I'm going to skip for now. You can just read it and follow it. And now my smartphone is connected to the gimbal. And you can see that by this green light where you've got the Bluetooth icon. When that is green, it means you are connected. If it's red, you need to restart the process and make sure you follow all these steps. As we are in the app, I want to show you a few of the features, not everything, because there's really a lot of stuff in there, but the main things, okay? This is what I can see through my phone right now. If we go to the very top left of the app, you will see the settings wheel. Let's open it up. So at the very top now, you will have 3 different icons, which are the settings of the camera and the gimbal. The one in the middle, as you can see, represents the gimbal. From here, we can change all the modes of the gimbal, but I'm gonna go through this stuff actually from the body of the gimbal because it's easier and that's where you're gonna use the most. But here you can find exactly the same things you will find on the body of your gimbal. If you wanna change the mode, how the gimbal reacts, you will find it here in the settings in working mode. You see pan, tilt, follow. You can change through all lock, pan, follow, and so on. But I'm going to explain a bit later. You can also change the speed of the gimbal, how fast it reacts to your movements. All in this menu here. Also the speed of the joystick, and you can reverse the commands of the joystick if that's not what you're used to. Simply you click on here, tilt joystick reverse, and you will literally reverse the use of the joystick. If you go to the top right, with the camera icon. It's like an Instagram icon. You will find the settings of your camera of your phone, and you can go to photo size and change the aspect ratio, the format of your photo. If we go back, you can set up a timer and so on. Now, if I just click here in the actual picture of the phone, I go back to the full screen, very top menu once again. Apart from the settings wheel we've seen right now, you will find the second icon, which represents a tiny man in a square, and that's to track an object or a face. If you click on it, you will have two different icons. One is like a box, and that's to track objects. The second one, it's a person, and you can track a face. Let's go on an object, because I can't track a face right now because it's just myself. So I click on the box, it will become orange, and now you can track an object. So let's say I want to track the corner over there of my door, right? What I want to do on my phone is to draw with my finger a square around the corner. It will become green, you see here. And now whatever I do with my hand, if I move to the left or to the right, the gimbal will try to track that corner. And it works exactly the same way with your face. It should be working. Once you do that, you press rec and you start recording. Still at the top of the app, the icon at the center is like a circle. Is to use the second camera of your phone. So the selfie camera here. If I want to track my face, for example, I click on the selfie camera. So the icon at the top center of my app with the circle. I will start using the selfie camera, and now from here what I can do is to go to the tracking modes, second icon from the top, click on the person, it will become orange, and there you go. The app is recognizing my face straight away with this green square you will see there. So wherever I move the gimbal, it will try to track my face. Or if I move, the gimbal will follow me. Okay, that's how it works. So you can really film yourself and do vlogging with this option as well. Right, let's go to the fourth icon of the top menu. These are the resolutions and the frame rate of your camera. If you want to film into 720p or 1080p 4K, that's your choice, and also your frame rate. Just click on the picture again, go back to the default screen of your app, and here I am. I'm going to switch my camera back to the normal camera. Let's go to the bottom menu of the app. You will see slow motion, time lapse, photo, video, and moment. You can simply click on each text to change the different modes. If we go to moment, that's our inception mode. Click on start, press rec, and the phone will go into inception mode. You simply want to rotate your phone horizontally and now go back and forth, and your phone will start spinning automatically. Pretty cool, but you can do this as well manually. We're gonna check it out now. Yeah, we don't want this music. Press stop on the phone. If we want to go directly into the inception mode here, we triple press the mode button on the gimbal. 1, 2, 3. See, the camera is going down, the gimbal will tilt, and it will start spinning. And now you can press record, of course, to record your video. Simples. And just let it finish the motion. Whee! And it will go back to vertical or landscape mode. How to create a time lapse? We go to the bottom menu again, click on time lapse, and we can either press the rec button on the screen or on the gimbal. Press on it, another menu will pop up asking you a couple of things. The settings, okay? So you have a shutter, and here basically you can choose how many shots you want to take in a certain amount of time. So now it's one shot every 10 seconds. You can scroll through and say I want one shot every 4 seconds, for example, and so on. Okay, let's just click whatever you like. Then time, no limits time, which means you need to press record to stop the actual time lapse, or you can say, you know, I want a time lapse that runs for 30 minutes, and you just choose your time frame right there. There's a plus button, a plus icon. You want to click on that to create a first starting point. So this is your first starting point, and the camera will be facing this way. Then you want to move the device, the gimbal, to a different position with the joystick, for example, there, to the left and down. And you're going to add a second key point, pressing on the plus button again. And now you want to click on start. Okay, you have a countdown. When it gets to 0, the phone will start recording and the gimbal will start moving towards the target, the ending target position. You can't see it now, but the gimbal is actually moving because my time frame is so long, it's 30 minutes. So it will do really tiny and gentle movements. At the end of the 30 minutes, you will have your time lapse ready to be shown in your video. I'm gonna click stop, and that's how you do time lapses. Then right there on top of the bottom menu, actually, to the right hand side, there's an icon with 3 circles. We click on that, and here we have some effects for your face. You can slim your face up or resize your eyes, but I never use this kind of thing, so you can play with it. All right, and also you have different filters in terms of color correction. You simply scroll through and you choose the one you want, and your image will adapt to this filter. Most importantly, let's gonna find out how the buttons of our gimbal work. Let's get serious. You will have in your settings panel here different buttons. You remember the 4 lights that light up when you power on your gimbal? These are actually the modes. By default, your gimbal will be in PF, which means pan follow. So panning is when you go left to right with your camera. If I go left, the camera will follow to the left. If I go right, the camera will follow to the right. That's pan follow. When we are in PF, if we press the trigger button, which is the one here at the back, the movement of the gimbal will be faster. So now the pan is quite slow. If I hold the trigger button with the pan follow mode, the gimbal will react in a faster way. If we click the mode button here on the gimbal, you will see the light going to the second light, which is PTF, which means pan and tilt follow. So if I tilt down this time, also the camera will tilt. If I tilt up, will tilt, pan to the left, pan to the right. So the 4 directions. We press the mode button once again, we go to the third light, which is the lock mode. So this time, whatever I do with my gimbal, the phone is not moving. It's just keep facing forward. We press it the 4th time, to the 4th light, POV, which is the more free mode. So whatever we do now, even diagonally, the phone will follow us. All right, for faster movements and action. Then we have the joystick, of course. Through the joystick, you can manually control the direction of your gimbal. If you press it to the left, it's like a video game. It will go to the left. If you go right, right, up and down for, tiny adjustments. Then we need to go in the app again, because I show you the other 2 buttons. Once we are in the app, now we can use the T and W button here, which is actually the zoom. And here on my monitor, you will notice actually a zoom text as well, and an F text, which is the focus. Let's stay on the zoom for now. If I use the zoom button on the gimbal and I go up, my phone camera will start zooming in my object, my subject. If I go back, I will go further away from the object. It's actually just a digital zoom. Now we can use the same button for the focus. So on the monitor next to the Z, you will find an F. Press on the F, and if we use the button on the gimbal again, I will change the focus from far to close and vice versa. You see the camera is changing the focus. And now I'm focusing on the door, for example. There you go. The power button will be used also as the recording button. If we click on it, the camera will start recording. That, of course, if you have the Bluetooth connection on. If I press it again, it will stop. And so on for all your different modes. If you are in photo mode, you simply click on it and you take a photo. Click. Going back to the buttons, if our gimbal, for example, is in a weird position like facing down and we want to bring it back to the default position, we double click the trigger button at the back. 1, 2, gimbal goes back to the standard position. I think that's more or less everything I wanted to cover here. These are the basics for the Hohem iSteady Mobile Plus. I hope it helped out. Check my channel, I've got a lot of gimbals there also for action cameras and more stuff to come. So I hope I see you in the next video. It can be tips, tutorial, video making, whatever is about content production and video making, you will find it here. So stay tuned and see you in a few days. Bye bye.